All right, hey kids, I'm just trying to take this time to show you how to repair this tire with one of the little patch kits. Trinity bought this patch kit, and I figured since I can't show you in person because I wanted to go ahead and get this done and get this car and stuff over to her, I'll record this for you and show you how to do it. All right, so obviously the first step in this case is to take the tire off, and the reason why I take this tire off is because it's a back tire. If this tire happened to have been on the front tire, I could have turned the wheel and exposed this nail and did it while the tire was still actually on the car. All right, it wouldn't have been an issue. Turn the wheel, to the direction, roll the car forward until you see the screw or whatever that's sticking in the tire. All right, in order to be able to fix it. We're able to fix this one because it's here in the tread. If this nail was on this side wall instead of right here in the middle part of the tread, you had to get a new tire. You can't fix it when it's here, but you can fix it here. All right, while this is here, we're gonna go ahead and take a look to see if we have any other nails. And as we come around here, we see we actually have another little screw. Now this screw may not all be all the way into the part where it is punctured the tire. I'm going to unscrew this one and pull it out and stuff too, just to double check. If I left it in here, maybe as the tire wears down, it'll push its way into the tire and cause another potential air leak. All right, and so just keep rolling this tire and see if we see any other air leaks. No other nails do I see or screws we see here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So in order to get started, I'm literally gonna just try to unscrew these screws and stuff out. If I can't do that, I want to get a pair of pliers and try to pull it out that way or something of that nature. So I'm gonna pause the video here and pull these screws out. I wasn't able to unscrew it out, so I had to use something to ply it out. And assuming you can hear it, you can hear the air coming out of this particular hole. I took the little one out. Don't think the other one is long enough to actually had a puncture all the way through, but we will test it later, that hole later, with a little bit of soapy water to see if it soaks up. All right, so I'll pause right here so I can open up the package. Okay, here goes what the instructions tells us to do. All right, so on the very first step, obviously we were ready to remove the punching objects from the tire. We already did that, the puncturing objects. Then we're going to slide this particular tool. This tool is the reamer, right? You can see the little spiral, little sides and stuff in there, right? We're doing this one to rough it and clean the inside of the hole. All right, once we do that one, we're going to remove the plug, move a plug from its clear backing. All right, these items right here, these items like this one are the plugs. There's some, in this particular kit comes some longer ones and shorter ones. We probably end up just using the shorter one for this purpose. All right, then we'll end up putting this, I'll show you how to do it within the secondary tool, how to feed that little plug through this little nozzle. Put the little we're gonna coat it with the little plug bond glue, and then we'll do these next steps. Basically, pushes it in, and then we're gonna pull it straight out in a rapid motion, right? All at one time. We're not going to twist the needle, right? Obviously, because we're gonna loosen and we're gonna create a little air gap if we do that one. Once that's done, we reflate the tires. It's ultimately that simple. Okay, so first step first. Well, maybe second step, I should say. First step was to pull out that little thing. Here goes that hole. We're gonna just take it, push this in there. All right, you'll see the hole actually gets bigger. All right, see more air stuff coming out of it faster. You should be able to hear it. Okay. Then next, all right, Well, since we got more of the longer ones, I'm going ahead and use the longer one instead of the shorter one. Okay, this is actually kind of on a difficult side. See if I can set this up. This stuff is kind of on a sticky side, obviously, for good reason. May have left this stuff in the car a little too long. Heat has been packing it, making it harder, to stick this paper. Probably not a good idea to leave it in the sun part of the car. All right, so we got the little sticky stuff. You should be able to see it. We're going to thread this where it's half and half on each side. Okay, like so. We're going to use this plug bond. We're only going to be putting this plug bond stuff towards the middle portion, right? Make sure I coat the middle section of the plug bond, the plug with the, all right. Okay. All right. Okay, and then from here, we're just gonna push it through. And it's telling us with the plug centered in the eye of the needle, start pushing the plunger tool and plug the puncture. Stop pushing when 2/3 of the of it, it's 2/3 of it way through. All right. So we don't push it all the way through. We push it 2/3 of the way through. So we take it. All right. Make sure you guys can see. You're gonna take it. Okay. It's pretty hard, but keep pushing, pushing, pushing. Come on. Just a tight hold. All right, I'm gonna need to use both of my hands to see if I can set this up again so that you guys can see. Okay, so this bot pushed all the way in. So we're gonna take it, we're gonna pull it straight out, like so. All right, this one has a little groove in between here, and that's where that part slid out. Okay, so we're done. From here, all right, do not twist, leave it in the needle. It doesn't tell you to do anything else to it, right? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and fill up this area of this tire, and we're gonna check to see if we see any particular leaks with a little bit of soapy water. Okay, so give me just a second, and we'll be right back for the next part. All right, okay, I'm back. Just air the tire back up to 35 PSI. Yeah, that's generally what it is on most of these vehicles, but you should always check just in case you're driving something different, and it may be a different air pressure PSI that you need to air it up to. All right, and so at this point, I got some little water with a couple of drops of soap and stuff in it. What I'm gonna do is just pour some of this water and stuff over this area, and I'm looking for those telltale signs of it would be making bubbles. If I had an air leak and stuff right here, you'll be seeing bubbles, like a little child, spitting bubbles and stuff out of their mouth, right? So no bubbles. This patch is good. You'll see that these little pieces are sticking out. That's okay. They do not tell you to try to trim them off or anything like this one. These things will wear down on their own as you're driving the car. I went on ahead and was checking that other little screw that we saw earlier. See how the little hole and stuff is? There is no bubbles coming out of it. Here, I'll show you once again. You can pour this end, if there was air coming out of this hole, you'll be seeing it bubbling, but it's not. So this tire patch is good to go. Just want to point out that more likely the reason why she's needing these nails and screws in the tires because all the destruction is going on in the apartment complex, and those nails stuff off trucks and everything else, and they be in the parking lot and running over them. That's how this stuff happens. So construction zones, more apt to happen. So well, I hope this helps you guys for any future patch repair that you may do. I should point out too that this tire is probably likely under roadside warranty coverage, and it probably would have been covered by Discount Tire. That's what you got the tire from, but I figured I'd take this time to show you what to do if you don't have that roadside coverage, because it's not necessarily hard or difficult to do. So love you guys. Hopes this helped. Bye.